Stories stir the soul.
Stories reveal.
And stories heal.
In this podcast, we will give you an inside look at someone who's had a life-changing breakthrough.
Real people, real stories with real breakthroughs. As a health and wellness expert and coach, and Todd as a men's mentor,
we've seen firsthand what God can do when it comes to a breakthrough. So lean in, listen well. This could be your biggest breakthrough.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Come on.
No, we should be celebrating.
Oh,
this is episode 100.
Okay. Yes, indeed.
To your biggest breakthrough.
Let's celebrate again. I'm Todd Isberner. Celebrate. Come on. I don't know how it goes.
Yes, I'm Wendie Pett, and this is Todd Isberner, and we are so excited. I feel like there needs to be all kinds of
fanfare, like crazy things.
Yeah, the cheering, the bells, the whistles,
yes,
all the fireworks, and there are fireworks going on in our heart right now, right? Just going on.
Well, because sure, it's because episode 100
big deal.
It's like a milestone.
It is a massive milestone.
You never thought we'd make it this far.
No, I didn't. And honestly, we're not only celebrating episode 100, but we want to celebrate you because it's because of you. You're the one that's listening, that you actually keep us going and having this great desire to continue doing what we're doing. So, but truth be told, it hasn't always been easy. And it hasn't always been joyful. There's been some struggles along the way, but man, you guys, the listeners, have made it just so rewarding for us. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for listening and encouraging us along our podcast journey.
Well, we started out saying, wouldn't it be cool if there were a podcast where people could literally experience breakthroughs in their lives? Yeah. Whether that's a breakthrough in relationships, a breakthrough with relationship with God, family, finances, fitness, health, all kinds of areas where we encounter people all the time who just feel like, I'm tired of being stuck in this place. So we thought, let's put a podcast together and bring people in who've experienced their own breakthroughs. And that's what has happened in 99 episodes. Can't necessarily say it's happened in this one just yet because we don't know.
Well, not yet. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. No, we kind of do. We're kind of planning this out because we want to
on the fly,
but we want to break down these 100 episode milestones with you and just let you know that while we had a vision of your biggest breakthrough, God had a bigger vision. And we have found that time and time again, your biggest breakthrough is actually him. In fact, it's always he is the breakthrough in every story, and it's so encouraging and so amazing. And so, it's just evolved. It is rich. It is deep. And I just feel honored and privileged to interview the people that we've interviewed.
Yeah. Right? I love the emphasis too, that really God does provide the breakthroughs. And every guest we have on shares their story about how they came to faith in Christ. And, even though there are lots of practical takeaways from every episode, things you can relate to, you can start to put into practice in your life. The reality is when we've got a relationship with God intact, then we've got everything we could possibly need for a breakthrough in whatever area in life that we need one.
Yep. And so we just thought it'd be kind of fun to unpack maybe a few of our favorite episodes to just highlight them, to encourage you, and maybe to get you to go back and revisit these episodes if you haven't heard them. But they also might be stories that will assist you along your own life journey. So, Todd, what are some of your favorite episodes to date?
Yeah,
because we've had some amazing ones.
This is really, really tough.
I know.
Because so many of them I personally really benefited from.
So this is kind of a selfish podcast.
It really is. It's like, my favorite is because
it ministers to us.
But I got to say, one of the more unusual ones that kind of caught me by surprise was the one with Brother Paul-Vincent Neibauer.
Oh,
he's a monk. He's a Benedictine monk.
That's right.
And I had a chance to visit with him when I went away to the monastery for a while.
Yes, you did go for a while.
But he didn't kick me out. I just thought I want to find out what it's like to spend a long time with God and also discover what these monks go through. Yeah. And Brother Paul was so refreshingly
and to
different.
see if you wanted to become one.
Now, those days are gone now,
well,
my
yes.
dear. But
Thank goodness.
but for Brother Paul, he grew up in a Catholic home and, was very devout, but he also, he liked lots of activity and adventure.
Yeah.
And he was a little conflicted because he wanted to be a monk, but he also wanted to be a circus ringmaster.
I mean, did the two don't go
No,
together? Like
are you kidding me?
Spectrum.
Although I have to say that, I imagine that living in a community of monks could be a real circus, right?
Yeah,
There.
right.
So maybe God was equipping him.
Uh-huh.
But he did. He left home and he joined the circus. He became a very well-known ringmaster, traveled the country. He did this for 12 years.
Like, y'all have to hear this. It's episode 65 and it is so good.
But always in the back of his head, he kept feeling like, well, maybe someday I'll go into, the brotherhood or the priesthood. And he ended up doing that. So I'll let you go hear the whole story because he tells it and it's funny, it's encouraging, it's inspiring. And you'll take some things away. Well, it is. It's more than a little weird. It's very weird. But he's just a great guy. He lives in a great community of Benedictine monks, and he has so much wisdom to share. And one of the things that he really emphasized was that you don't have to go away to the monastery to experience God. There are things he talks about for you to benefit from in terms of how you can find your own inner peace and intimacy with the Lord without having to become a Benedictine monk.
Yes.
So he was just so refreshingly encouraging and inspiring. I think you'll love that one as much as I did.
Yeah, that was a good one.
What episode number is that?
Well, that was 65.
65.
We're going to be like doing a little popcorn here, like popcorn numbers. Okay. And so you'll have to write these down maybe, or if you're driving, go back and check these out.
Yeah.
But one of my favorites, and this goes way back, but it was episode 22, and we had Susie Larson on the show.
Yes.
And it was so powerful because she was dealing with some serious pain during that interview. I mean, it was very raw and real and just humbling and all the things, but it was
afterwards, if you recall, I mean, she said,
like,
look,
hey, can we re-record this? Because I know that wasn't my best. And I thought, oh my goodness, no, you have no idea how the Holy Spirit showed up. And it was absolutely beautiful. And it ministered to so many, but the title of that one is How the Storms We Endure Reveal the Lies We Believe and the Truths We Need. And so it was about, can you handle it if I heal you? Those were the words that that God spoke to her spirit about Lyme disease and
Lyme disease.
Yeah. And seriously, can you heal it can you handle it if I heal you? Yeah. What a question, right? Because of
I don't know what I would do with that question. I mean, Susie has learned how to heal God. And she has a remarkable story and a remarkable ministry. But
she does.
I was thinking about that this morning when we were talking about Susie, and just wondering, how would each one of us do when you're in a place of suffering?
Yeah.
You don't feel like offering ministry to anybody. It's because you just kind of want to, crawl up into a ball and just, let life go by.
Yeah.
But
and yet you just keep persevering, keep going, and God moves through her, and she has ministered to so many. And it was just a beautiful episode. And so that was way back at episode 22, but I know it will inspire you if you're dealing with any kind of ailment, infliction. If you're in a woe is me kind of state of mind, I'm telling you, this will help get you through it.
Yeah. Again, thinking through all of the episodes, and I've scrolled through, I've got a bunch of them on my computer sitting here in front of me, kind of going through them and realizing that I'd like to just talk about all of them. But let me just pick one again that was very personally inspiring and convicting and challenging and all the other good things. And that was when we had our guest on, Al Hammond.
Oh, right.
That was episode 68. And he talks about this 4-quarter operating system that he developed.
Right.
And he
basically, we're still working on.
Oh, yeah. But we did a 30-day challenge and really went after this thing. And these 4 quarters represent time periods during your day. Mm-hmm. And he breaks it out into course, kind of like a football game. And then he explains why he's chosen what he does in each quarter. And the ultimate goal is for you and for him to be completely free of all the stress and pressure and demands that take all the energy and life out of you and ends up oftentimes destroying your family. In fact,
he's learned to put up healthy boundaries.
He had to, because he was burning out. This man works so hard. He and his father had a business, and then he took the business over. And he's one of those, not people pleasers, but super achievers who wants everything to go like really, really right for his clients. So he worked himself to the
bent
bone
over backwards. Yep.
And decided, I can't do this to my family. I can't do it to my health. I can't do it to my relationship with God. So he sat down, he developed this 4-quarter operating system. And somebody ran into me recently and said, hey, I heard that podcast. I said, awesome. What'd you think? I've already started implementing it.
Yeah. You're
I
like,
said,
wait,
so wait a
what?
minute.
Really?
You're getting up at 4:30 in the morning. He said, well, like around 5.
Still, oh my word.
And that doesn't mean that we all have to do.
No.
Al's very good about it, sort of explaining how you can adapt this to your own style. But
yeah, and everyone's in a different season as far as how they can shape their days.
But he'll share how to take some sort of vital assessments of where things are at in your life, and then to just plan it out. It's not complicated, but if you listen to that, I promise you, you're going to say to yourself, I know I can do better than I'm doing in managing my time.
Yes.
And making my days really count.
Oh, that's such a good one. I love that one. I should go back and revisit that one.
Let me pull it up. We could just replay it right now.
We could. Oh my goodness. And I really enjoyed episode 36 with Barbie Breathitt. I'm a big dreamer. And
you shared a dream with me this morning.
I did. Okay. We don't need to share. I should call Barbie.
What did you eat last night? No, there's a lot to dreams.
There are a lot to dreams.
Did I try to figure this out today?
You did.
How'd I do?
I think you did all right.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we don't need to go into detail here.
I'd love to.
But
man, our listeners be fast to hear that dream. All right, go ahead.
So anyway, so Barbie, she really does want to encourage you to get your dream life happening again. If it's stuck and it's stagnant and you're not really dreaming, or if you're just missing dreams, because God speaks to us in our dreams, not always, but a lot of times those dreams are to reveal to us what's going on or how we're processing certain things emotionally. They could be healing dreams. They could be prophetic dreams. They could be, all kinds of dreams, warning dreams, to warn you of something that isn't a direction you should go. Or there's so many different ways in which dreams can affect our life if we really pay attention, because it's another way of God speaking, right? Yeah,
absolutely. And we're not always sure if God is speaking. So we have to kind of take them apart. I mean, sometimes they seem so nonsensical. Yep. It really becomes almost like, I don't want to try to figure that out. It was the pizza, right? But she's convinced that dreams can mean a whole lot more than what you think they can.
Absolutely.
But you'd mentioned something about...
and they're Christ-centered interpretations.
Exactly right. Because did you mention something about that she doesn't teach us how to dream?
No, not
because you
dream.
Can't. I mean,
no,
like I can't sit down tonight and say before I go to bed, hey, here's how I'm going to dream tonight.
No, but you can prepare your heart and your mind to dream, and you can ask God to give you a dream. You can start to be prayerful about it. And I think sometimes we just dismiss that and think, really?
You're right.
Pray to God for a dream?
Well, that's what I found so surprising. She said, talk to God about it before you fall asleep and ask him to reveal whatever he'd like to in dreams, and then be very intentional and pay attention. Sometimes some people, I mean, literally will get up after a dream,
and write it down. They should
just jot it down. Yeah.
Although I did not ask God for the dream that I had the other night.
No, I don't think he would have given you that dream.
No, I don't either.
But then again,
anyway,
you can work through anything.
That's right.
That was fascinating.
That was a good one. It really was. And
a lot of people jumped.
Very knowledgeable. Yeah, it's very.
Let's see. I have another one here. This was fairly recent. This was episode 95. And this was with our new friend, Jim Maxim.
Oh, yeah.
Who is a businessman, entrepreneur, who has a tremendous ministry called Acts. Oh, where to go? Acts 4:13. And he goes around now speaking and writing books and teaching while he's running his businesses.
Yeah.
People how to pray. How to become intimate in prayer. How to do battle in prayer.
And how to pray back to God, his very word.
Love that.
That's powerful.
He models for you, teaches. In fact, we're actually going through one of his books right now that has audio prayers with it.
And Daniel Henderson.
Yes, is partnering that. Mm-hmm. But here's the fascinating thing about Jim's story. This is why you really need to listen to it. He's got one of the most unique transformations in his life that you'll ever hear.
Yes.
He was
like, we don't even want to tell you about it because it's so
I have to tell a little
dramatic.
I know, but I have to tell. So he was a real tough kid, grew up in
that.
Right, but he you know,
that good.
tough guy, right? Tough crowd he hung around in. Got in lots of trouble. Ended up in jail a few times. And again, this is a very smart, you know, well-to-do man who went through a lot of hard knocks of life as a young man, but he had a praying mother. And mom did not give up, no matter how many times,
right,
you know,
Isabel.
the cops had to haul him in. No matter how many times he laughed at his mother's faith, mocked it all. One day, I won't say what, but something really tragic took place.
And yet God flipped it and made it all turn out for his good and his glory. And it's miraculous.
And I have to say, I mean, because he wrote a book about it, Face to Face, because he had literally an encounter with the devil. And it was during that encounter with the devil, he had to make a decision. Anyhow, you can just about guess the outcome on it, but you have to hear him tell this story because it is fascinating. You just kind of feel like it's a movie and that you're like right in there.
Episode 95. So if you missed it, you better go back. You know what? I've already noticed there's a trend because I'm about to share episode 42 with Rebecca Carroll. I am focused on women here, and it seems like you are focused on men. What's up with that?
That would be a very natural, normal way to function in life.
Yes.
No, yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, I love all the guests we've had on. I love the women's stories, but sometimes with the guys, you know, I can relate a little bit more.
Exactly. Well, Rebecca Carroll in episode 42, she is actually was a with the radio station for many, many years. And she actually, is she still, or has she kind of retired from that? I don't even know that. Gosh, isn't that terrible? But she's got a ministry. She's doing all kinds of great things for the Lord. She's gone to seminary, but she dealt with for many, many years a lot of mental health issues. And with that, she dealt with some coping mechanisms to cover up that mental health. And that was alcohol. She was like a secret alcoholic, and she was high functioning. There's just a lot to her story as well, but there were some miraculous uncoverings. And I just think how many people are struggling and you may not even really be aware of it because they're high functioning. And just knowing that sometimes you can't always see the mental health issues that are going on, and to have compassion and to have discernment. And anyway, her story is just, it's riveting. It's encouraging. And she now is known kind of as that she went from an overwhelmed alcoholic to the joyful Jesus lover. So you'll have to listen in to find out more of what that means.
What I find so fascinating with, you know, people who have stories like that is
they're overcomers.
And your story too. I mean, you look at you now, you're a completely different person than who you were, you know, 20 years ago.
Right.
And I think about her, and just, it's so hard to even imagine the kinds of challenges that she had when you look at her now, because she's so transformed.
Yeah.
This is what the power of God can do. And this is why we love people sharing their stories, because every single guest always gives credit to how God was at work bringing about those changes and bringing them through. And that's why we are encouraging you to listen as often as possible, because your faith will be strengthened.
Yes, just like ours is. And I think we continue to get better in our faith as we listen to stories and you know, are around believers, because
there's such great modeling that happens. And I think sometimes the way we learn the best is to follow the, you know, the pattern of somebody else. Like to imitate what and who they are.
Like in the Bible.
What do you mean, like in the Bible?
Well, I mean, like, you know, stories we
like the Apostle Paul saying, "Hey, look, just do what I do."
Yeah.
Not like the parent who says, "Don't do what I do, just do what I say." Not the Apostle Paul. He said, "Look, do what I do, then you'll get it right." That's kind of our encouragement when you listen to our guests. Just follow the lead
and think of his transformative story. I mean,
the Apostle Paul.
Yes.
Would you like to go into that?
Okay, no, because we don't have a show on that one. But
all right, so episode 98, another recent one. Is that 90?
Yeah.
Edward John Hughes. Oh my goodness.
That's so good.
First of all, he's Norwegian.
He is.
And I thought for sure when we brought him on that we would have to talk like this, don't you know? Oh yeah, sure. And talk about and all that. But he is amazing.
He's so humble.
First of all, he's very Americanized because he's lived here a lot.
Yeah.
But he's a handsome, strong, incredibly faith-filled man of God. And this is the kind of guy you just want to hang out with. And it wasn't always that way with him, although he says, from childhood on, I always knew God was with me, but he just wasn't living that out. His mom prayed for him. He had a great family he grew up
Something
in.
about these praying moms.
I'm serious,
Come on
isn't
now.
it? Yeah, that's a good word, Mom. Listen up.
Uh-huh.
You too, Dad. But he ended up really hearing from God in a dramatic way. Here's a young guy who's very athletic.
Yes.
And was
major athlete.
I mean, like moving up the ranks big time in soccer. Like he would have been a candidate to play on a world soccer team.
Yeah.
You know, hands down. And all of his coaches told him that.
Yep.
But on the soccer field,
don't tell him the
all right,
story.
well,
They have to go listen.
But he hears the voice of God. And so I won't tell you what he heard God say, but he had to make a decision. And his life unfolded in a very interesting way, one that he didn't plan on. But you look at his ministry today.
Oh, man. And things that are going on and what he's a part of because of his faith. He's got this childlike, unshakable faith. Yeah. And it's just beautiful to hear and to watch.
And what I love about him, too, is because, you know, just looking at the guy and listening to him speak, you think this guy has got it all together. He's battled years of depression and discouragement, and he just kept motoring through it because of this intimacy he has with the Lord, and especially with the Holy Spirit. And he's very open and candid talking about that and how this relationship to this day, to this moment, allows him to overcome any fear. And he'll be the first to tell you he's afraid of a lot of stuff. Yeah. He's just got to step out and go forward and trust the Lord, and it'll be overcome.
Yeah. And he's just so passionate. But one of the things that he has learned, of course, is as he has shared about his depression, he shared about his you know, weak spot, I guess.
And his fears.
Then in his fears, it has taken the burden off of him, of course, and he's been able to put it at the foot of the cross, and it's been lifted. So there's something so powerful about really being vulnerable and being authentic with others.
One of the things that he's done, he's a songwriter, musician, speaker, travels around the world, but he writes a lot of this. So you can sort of feel those things come out in his songs.
For sure.
It's very unusual. So he, you know, probably not going to hear him on the local Christian radio station over here. Although if you travel to Norway, you will.
Yes.
But he's got lots of albums out and really, really great music.
It's really cool. So hopefully you'll listen to that one, episode 98. And then, you know what? I do have a guy.
Okay.
But it's a couple. It's Gordon and Charisse.
Oh, Gordon and Charisse.
Silly.
Couple of our favorites.
Yeah, they were great. And so they, that was episode 61, actually. And it's all about pain. Gordon had dealt with years worth of just unbearable pain. And he shares about the pain that he went through and how he was just in bed and couldn't move, and for Charisse to be the caregiver, and the pain that even the caregiver goes through. And I'm talking about the pain related to grief, because, you know, your marriage isn't what you thought it would be, or, you know, there's disappointments and that kind of thing, and how God shows up in the midst of the pain and can take it away literally and get you on a different page for life, and in a healing mindset and a healing just kind of, you know, mode that you put yourself on, and it starts to change how you really do feel and show up. And so it's just powerful, because I think all of us have dealt with some level of pain before in our life.
Well, so, unequivocally. Yeah, absolutely. 100% true. So
100%.
But one thing about that couple is, in this episode, it's not just mindset and faith. That's the biggest chunk of it. But they'll give you some very practical takeaways about like steps you can follow to overcome these kinds of things and to change your perspective on it. Yeah. And I'm so impressed. He, even in spite of his pain, forced his body to do things that his body didn't want to do.
Yes.
He did it anyhow. And it had this rippling effect in his life.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And what that's modeled for their children. I mean, facing adversity like that, I mean, my word, it has just helped the whole family level up. So anyway, that's a good one. And that again is episode 61.
All right. Now, I don't have another episode to highlight, but I do have a list in front of me, and I'm scrolling through it. I mean, I'm looking at Nate Burkholder.
Yes, right.
The ninja warrior who just is so full of enthusiasm and energy and positivity. And Well, I mean, stories about how he overcame
Right.
incredible obstacles, and there he
Right.
is competing on, America's Got, or not America's Got Talent.
America's Got
He should do that one too, though.
Warrior.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we've had a couple American Ninja Warriors on.
Yeah, Justin Maynard.
Justin Maynard, that's right. So that's so fun. It's one of our favorite shows, and Todd tried out, and
I didn't try out for that. I should have tried out for that. It's the oldest ninja warrior ever.
You really
brought me.
I think you could have done it. I'm serious. What'd you say?
No,
but we did try out for Survivor. Remember that?
We
went together.
Oh, we did. That's right.
Oh yeah, and you did it by yourself too. That's right.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay,
we digress.
Imagine that. We do that all the time.
Wow, here's a miracle of overcoming.
The final.
There's this
Okay,
one,
there's so
this
many.
one,
I know. Okay, one final one that we want to highlight. I know. We want to highlight all 100, to be honest with you, but we can't because that's we'd be here all day.
What about a couple of ours? We don't always have a guest on. Like every few weeks, it's just you and I.
Yeah, like this one.
Was there anyone? Yeah, was there any one in particular that was your favorite that you and I did?
I don't recall.
I have
them
one.
right now. You do?
Yeah, and
is it
was
the one
episode
laughter?
No, but that's another
comedy.
Yeah, I think it was episode 13.
Oh no,
about goal setting.
Oh,
right. I really did like that. I think we should repeat that one.
Do you?
I think it's that good.
Wow. All right, you heard it here.
I think
it's that good, everybody.
We de-myth the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
But also give some very practical suggestions, if you will.
And this is a good time of year to reevaluate and relook at goals. So yeah, go back to 13. That's a good
13.
Yeah, 13.
No, yeah,
it is.
Yes, it is. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is. You're sure?
Yes. Okay. So another one of my favorites, and then we'll kind of wrap this up.
You've got another favorite?
Yes.
I had 4. You've got 5.
You just did 5 because you said goals. So one of my other favorites is a recent one, and that's with Kaya Jones, episode 97. And Kaya Jones is one of the founding members of the Pussycat Dolls. And she has such a remarkable story and transformation in Christ. It's so awe-inspiring to see and to hear her story, but also to see what she's doing in the world as it pertains to the lies and just Hollywood and the trafficking that's going on. I mean, the music industry, especially. Really, yeah. But all areas, but Hollywood, music industry, but she is just really wanting to put a stake in the ground and uncover the hidden lies and let the truth be known. And so it's powerful. So I hope you'll take a listen to that, episode 97.
Yeah, you will be inspired and encouraged to take a stand in your life.
Yes.
I mean, it cost her a lot when she took that stand.
Yeah.
She had tremendous notoriety, and she was pretty much shunned.
Yeah.
Because she talked too much about Jesus.
Yeah.
And she doesn't care.
No, so. I mean, the power of, God will redeem, he'll restore.
Yeah.
And we will be persecuted. I mean, we will be. So just already face it. No, yep, that's what's going to happen. But we are to stand strong in our truth and in our faith. And so she is such a great model for that in this day and time. Yeah. So give it a listen.
All right. So the point is, this is our 100th
Happy
episode.
Anniversary. That's the point.
Oops. And
happy anniversary.
Yeah. Okay. And, I guess we'll do this again on episode 200.
200. Yeah. So you guys just keep on listening. We appreciate you so very much. And I keep sharing all these episodes. Go back and listen to others that you haven't heard before. And again, share with those that you know.
What's the easiest way for them to kind of like go through the list?
Well,
so there's just give a couple of ideas.
You can go on YouTube, but most people listen, of course. They don't watch, but you can go watch.
But if you go to YouTube and just subscribe to our channel, you can scroll through and see all the different little cover photos and stuff.
The guests,
and the guests, pictures of the guests, their names, and a little synopsis of what their podcast episode is all about.
Right. But
so
you
that's
can listen
one easy
on the go to iTunes, pray.com, the Edify app, Spotify. I mean, wherever.
Just Google your biggest breakthrough.
Yeah.
And
do the Google.
You'll find it, right? But we really do invite you to just check these out. These stories,
subscribe.
They will help you.
They will. So, but we appreciate all your feedback as well. And if you feel so inclined, please leave us a review.
Oh, yeah.
Your review actually really does matter. It helps to bump this podcast up to the top of different ratings and different other podcasts, so that we are found by others that might be inspired as well. So we appreciate you taking the time, give it a 5-star, but also make comments. Making those comments in a review itself really does matter. So we thank you for that.
And if you have any suggestions or
a guest that
questions or guests or some critiquing, I'm going to give you Wendie's cell phone number. That's 651. Okay. All right.
That's funny. But no, you can email us. You can email us. So feel free to go to Wendie at wendiepet.com, or what's your email?
It would be Todd at toddisburner.com.
Yeah, so email either one of us.
toddisburner.com.
Yes. Anyway, we appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope it spurred some excitement to go back and listen to some shows you haven't quite heard yet, but also just to say, as a reminder, we just wanted to say thank you, because we appreciate
What's he had with those party horns?
I know. Hey, let's do the cheering again. Can they hear that?
Well, you got to turn it up. Here you go. Wait a minute. Where's the cheer?
Here, I'll just clap for ourselves. oh, wait. Why is that? That's laughter.
Oh, sorry. That's the wrong button. What's that one? There we go. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, and God bless. Head on over to yourbiggestbreakthrough.com, where you'll find some free resources and information, and a place where you can comment, and we would love to dialogue with you there. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.